The stars hung still and silent above the scarred plains of Vorax II. I stood beside the transport vessel, helmet under my arm, the wind brushing cold across the skin of my face. Around us, the last of the Earth Expeditionary Force packed up. It had been a brutal 6-month campaign to stabilize this dying planet, but we'd done it. Now it was time to leave. And she stood there, Serica of Clan Veterani, warrior, diplomat, and the first of her species to stand beside a human in combat rather than against them. 6.5 feet of lean muscle, with skin that shimmered like deep obsidian when the sun hit her right. Her silver crest of hair flowed down her back, tied in the ceremonial braid of a blood sister to humanity. I met her during the 2nd month of the campaign. She was supposed to be our enemy, the general of one of the Varaxi resistance bands. Instead, she defected. Not for politics, not for strategy. She said we laughed too much to be villains. And God's help me, I fell for her. I never told her that, of course. What could a human mean to her kind, really? Our lifespans were brief. Our strength was lesser. Even our senses were duller. But she never treated me like I was weak. Never called me soft meat like others did. She just watched me. Always. Now, as the last minutes ticked down before departure, I struggled to find something to say that didn't sound like a goodbye. The words wouldn't come. But she spoke first. "Before I leave," Serica said, turning toward me, her eyes glowing faintly violet in the dusk, "I want to ask you something." My heart stopped, froze like someone had pulled my soul out of my chest and suspended it midair. I stared at her, caught between the sudden rush of adrenaline and a silent, desperate hope. "Why, yeah," managed. She stepped closer, her movements fluid and predatory, yet graceful. There was something different in her expression. Not the usual calm calculation of a soldier, nor the friendly smirk of a sparring partner. This was uncertain, vulnerable. "Human," she said, dropping formal rank. "Why do you make jokes in the face of death?" I blinked. That was not what I expected. She tilted her head. "In the siege of Harashine Pass, when the odds were against us, you laughed. When you lost half your unit, you told a story about earth food, banana pancakes, was it? When I killed that enemy who nearly gutted you, you thanked me and said, 'Guess that's dinner sorted.' Why?" I exhaled slowly. "Because if I didn't laugh, I'd cry. And if I cry, I stop fighting." Serica looked at me, her eyes narrowing. "Is it courage, then? Or fear?" "Thought about that. Both, maybe." I laugh so the fear doesn't win. She was quiet for a long time. Then she looked down at my helmet, then up at the sky. "You humans. So fragile. So emotional. So loud." Chuckled. "We grow on people." She smiled faintly. Then that smile faded, and she took a step closer. "I'm being summoned back to Urek Prime. They want to honor me for choosing peace. Palace, they say. Ceremonial guard. Titles." "That's great news," I said and meant it. Even though a sharp sting jabbed at my chest. "It is. But I don't want to go back alone." She took another step closer still. Her voice dropped. "I have fought beside you, laughed with you, bled for you. Yet still, I cannot understand everything." I swallowed. "What don't you understand?" "This." She touched my chest gently. Her hand lingered over my heart. "Why it aches when I think of leaving you." I forgot how to breathe. Her hand remained there, warm, steady. "I have studied many human phrases, researched your customs, but I fear I still do not have the words." "I think," I said slowly, "I might know what you're trying to say." Serica's gaze locked onto mine. "Say it for me." "I care about you. More than I should. More than just as a soldier. Or a friend. You mean more to me than you'll probably ever realize. A flicker of light passed across her expression. Then, come with me. What? She leaned in closer. Come with me to HFY. Be my voice among the high tribes. Help me build a future where our kinds walk as equals. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You want me to go with you. You are not the strongest human I have met, she said, lips twitching at the corners. Nor the tallest. Nor the cleverest. He paused. But you are the bravest. You're not joking, I whispered. Humor, I am told, is your people's defense mechanism. But I am not defending myself. I am asking. Her voice softened to almost a whisper. Will you come? The wind blew again, but I barely felt it. The transport ship roared behind me, the ramp starting to retract. I had a split second to decide. To say yes or live a life of wondering what could have been. I looked at her. This towering, alien woman with a warrior's heart and a mind full of wonder. And I realized, my war was over. But my story wasn't. Hell yes, I said. 2 months later, HFY. The stars here danced like liquid sapphires against the twin moons. From the balcony of the embassy, our embassy, I looked out across a skyline both alien and magnificent. Towering spires shimmered in crystalline hues. Strange birds circled in the dusky air. Down below, humans and Varaxi mingled. Uneasily at times. Curiously at others. But no longer as enemies. Behind me, I heard the rustle of silk and armor. Sarika stepped beside me, dressed in the violet and obsidian ceremonial armor of a first speaker. The position hadn't existed before. She invented it, along with my own title, Voice of the Human Accord. I expected you to run away, she said, teasing. I considered it. But I got distracted by the architecture. She chuckled softly, then rested a hand on my back. I still do not understand how you humans fall in love so fast. Or how deeply it roots itself. I don't understand how you guys don't. I do now, she said quietly. Because of you. I turned toward her, hand finding hers. Her calloused fingers curled around mine with surprising gentleness. You were wrong before, I said. About what? I am the strongest human you know. Because I managed to win the heart of a 7-foot alien warrior woman who once threatened to kill me for interrupting her speech. She grinned, sharp teeth flashing. You did interrupt me. Very rudely. I had intel. You had coffee. Same thing. She laughed then. Not a small chuckle, but a real booming laugh that echoed into the night. And gods, I loved that sound. Meant peace. It meant possibility. Meant us. 1 year later, Earth-Vorax Alliance Conference. We stood before 1,000 delegates from across the galaxy. Humans, Varaxi, Brentari, even a few cautious Felinari from the outer rings. The galactic concord was taking shape. I gave the opening speech. Sarika stood beside me, her hand brushing mine beneath the podium. When the speech ended, thunderous applause followed. But before we stepped away, she leaned into the microphone. Before I leave, I want to ask you something, she said, echoing the words she once said to me. The crowd fell silent. I turned to her, stunned. She reached into her sash and pulled something small. A ring, carefully crafted in the ancient Varaxi bonding style, but embedded with a simple earth-made stone. Turquoise, my favorite. Will you be my mate? Not just in battle. Not just in diplomacy. But in life. My heart froze. Again. And this time I whispered. Yes.